the new economy is creating new ways to make money, or just even extra money on the side. I mean, crowd sharing and crowdfunding and peer-to-peer, the sharing economy, all this kind of stuff is really creating new opportunities, that people don't think of yet. I don't know if you heard of Airbnb. Okay, this is a place, a business that started just with a website, and what they do is offer like hotel rooms to people all over the world. Actually, just in the few years they've been in business, number one, they have 800,000 rooms available, okay? Now, people like Hyatt hotels only have 75,000. So 75,000 rooms versus 800,000 rooms. But see, what they do on the internet, Airbnb does, they're rooms in people's houses, or apartments they don't use, or hotels they don't use, or country houses they don't use, or vacation homes they don't use, and people are making tens of thousands of dollars, making extra money out of their house, out of their real estate they don't use, and things like that. And this company with just a website is now worth $10 billion. That's right, $10 billion. They don't even own a hotel room. Hyatt Regency, they're also worth about $10 billion. But they have what, 75,000 hotel rooms. So that's all this stuff they have to take care of. Airbnb doesn't have to take care of anybody. Just you, the customer, and their website. And also, like, Airbnb has 600 employees. Okay, 600 employees. Well, Hyatt has what? Gosh, Hyatt has 75,000 employees. 75,000 employees versus 600 employees. And actually, I was wrong. I said they had 75,000 rooms. No, they have 150,000 rooms. So Hyatt Regency has Hyatt hotels all around the world. They have 150,000 rooms. Airbnb has 800,000 rooms. And they only have 600 employees versus 75,000 employees. But I used an Airbnb recently. Well, actually, what I do, I make money. My wife and I have an apartment downtown in Washington, D.C., and we just put our apartment on that website, the Airbnb, and we got like $1,500 worth of business, just in like 2-3 weeks. Extra money we wouldn't even know was there. I used Airbnb over in Shanghai when I went there, my son and I, and it was wonderful. Man, you don't have to deal with concierge or big corporations. It's from individuals, and the people were so nice. They hooked us up all over the city and gave us great information and found us people even that we wanted to do business with, and all this kind of stuff. The things that a hotel can't do that. And actually, what's neat about this, like the people that we had our first tenant, use our Airbnb, and they clean the place immaculately. You would never do that in a hotel room. Well, here's the business opportunity. Okay, so certainly if you have room that you don't want, you could do that in Airbnb.com. That's AIRBN, the letter N, and then B again. And the business has only been around for years. But more importantly, the people in Shanghai didn't even own the real estate. It was somebody else's apartment they rented. And they make a commission. They do all the work and things like that. And they make money doing this. So all you have to do to start a business is find people who have properties they're not really using, or rooms in their houses they're not using. Or actually, you can go on things like Craigslist and see who's renting out rooms, apartments, and things like that, and say, hey, I'll do all the Airbnb stuff for you, and just give me 20% of what I get. Because it's like found money for these people who have property, and they're too lazy. See, I mean, to me, what I feel that we're all in the shoe shine business, right? Anybody could go with like to Walgreens or something like that and get for $2-3, and you get enough shoe polish for the rest of your life, or you give somebody $5 to sign your shoes, right? So we can all do all these kinds of things ourselves, but what happens is people have money are lazy, right? And if you do it for them, you could make money. So if they have extra apartments and houses or whatever, man, you see, Airbnb does everything for you. They find you the customer, because they have hundreds of thousands of people coming to their website every day looking for stuff. So you don't have to go out and look for a customer. The hardest thing, say if someone gave you their apartment to rent and you had to do it, you had to go find a customer. That's hard. So now with a website, they do all the walking for you. They do all the door knocking for you. And you just sit there and handle customers and answer the phone kind of thing. Now that's wonderful, and you just do the details, making sure it's clean afterwards and before, and all that kind of stuff, and being nice to the people, because it becomes a person-to-person business. That's why I think this is going to grow, because it's a more friendly operation to travel, when you're in another country or another city or something like that, and the people are nicer and you have a nicer experience. And see, on the website you're vetted, and so you don't get idiots just like in a hotel they have to take anybody. No, see, and so everybody reviews everybody else, and the idiots are long gone very quickly, and that's great, and that's why something like this is going to grow forever. And there's so many ways to make money on it, and one is at being an Airbnb broker. So go to their site, airbnb.com, and look at, just see the kinds of properties, and then you could see kinds of properties in your area that, look at the one hands people looking for renters or whatever, and approach these people, or just go down the street looking at these apartment buildings that look empty and say, hey, if you're not ever here, see, like my son, he's not here on the weekends, so when he's out of town, he makes a few $100 getting rid of his apartment on the weekends. See, so even if people are living there, there are days they're not, or actually you find people, summer's coming up, and say, when you going on vacation, I can make money for you when you're not in your house or your apartment or anything like that. Why you're taking a week or 2 weeks vacation? Why have it sit there and do anything? This is the way for you to pay your vacation and me to make some extra money.